What's up, guys? Mason the Brock Henderson here, and this is Arrow Season 5, Episode 7, Vigilante. Much better episode. Just all around, not nearly as many stupid moments, not nearly as many, like, what the hell character decision moments. Just all around a much more enjoyable episode. I mean, one of the things that I really enjoy about the show is, of course, the fight scenes. The only problem with the past couple seasons has been everything surrounding the fight scenes has been so annoying that it's almost hard to enjoy it because you're too busy thinking about, oh, what a stupid decision to do this and this and this. So I like the fact that this one didn't really have anything to complain about. As far as the story itself, I feel like there are certain ways I should be feeling towards it, and I feel all of that. There are times in a show whenever you can see the writers want you to feel this way about a certain situation. Like with Felicity and Oliver last season, the whole them going through the divorce and all that stuff. The writers wanted you to feel really bad for them and feel sad for Oliver and feel sad because, sympathize with Felicity over all this. I didn't feel any of that because it was so poorly written that I couldn't connect to it. I couldn't connect to the emotions I'm supposed to be having. In this, I'm actually experiencing most of the emotions that I think the writers are trying to get across. So that's an improvement in my opinion. But anyway, let's talk about the main part of this episode first. We've got a new vigilante in town who apparently feels like the Green Arrow and his team are not doing enough to get it done. So he's taken to killing some of the bad guys. Starts off with him killing the sex trafficking ring and putting their bodies outside with a V. When he did the V, I was like, ooh, what's his name going to be? And they're talking about, he's a vigilante. I'm like, let's see. They could do so many things with the V. And then they started calling him Vigilante, and I looked at the title of the episode on Vigilante. I'm like, come on. I mean, you're connected to the Flash universe, which has the same... It's the same universe. These shows are connected. You have Cisco in that show who names all of these supervillains most of the time really well. You're telling me the best you can come up with is Vigilante? That's it? It's too easy. I wanted a better name than Vigilante. Anyway, but he's clearly taking matters into his own hands, so the team goes to stop a bank robbery, but Vigilante beats them there and kills one of the guys. The rest of the bank robbers get away. Then Oliver steps in and takes the team with him to stop the bank robbers again. Vigilante shows up at the same time, and ultimately they manage to stop the bank robbers, but the leader gets away. So Oliver manages to track down where the leader is because the DA gets some information out of one of the bank robbers. Oliver gets there first, Vigilante's right behind him and shoots up the place, blows it up. Oliver manages to save the guy, but some innocent people die along the way. And so at that point it's kind of like, okay, now Vigilante has taken it too far, now we have to stop him. So they set up a fake bank robbery. Vigilante gets there and ends up knocking out Artemis and then taking Mr. Terrific. I'm sorry. I know comic book fans, I know you guys are going to hate me for this, but I'm just going to keep calling them by the real names because, frankly, I hate... Wild Dog and Ragman I can deal with because they're both pretty good names as far as the team goes. Spartan is a good one, Overwatch is a good one, Speedy was a good one. Mr. Terrific and Artemis. Just not good enough. Not good enough at all. So Curtis and Evelyn are out in the van. Mr. What's his face? Vigilante knocks Evelyn out, brings Curtis inside, and has him at gunpoint. So Oliver gets in and is trying to talk him down. And the whole time he's got a gun up to Curtis's head, and he starts talking about, maybe you haven't experienced the loss, that maybe you need a push to get forward. So for a second, I was like, is he about to kill Curtis? Is he about to shoot Curtis in the head? And then I remembered, oh wait, no, this isn't The Walking Dead. They're not going to do that. So, of course, Oliver stops him, traps him on a beam, and I'm just like, okay, now take off his mask and show me that it's the DA, Adrian Chase, because that, after what he said... When he and Oliver were talking, Oliver's like, I doubt he's going to wait for a search warrant. And Adrian was just like, yeah, I'm sure he won't. Just the way he said it, like, he's Vigilante, isn't he? It doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but maybe when we find out more of his backstory, maybe we'll realize something else about him. I don't know. But I was waiting for him to take it off, and then of course, explosion happens, knocks Oliver back, and somehow he escapes from the ropes. I don't know how. It's Arrow. That's kind of what happens in the show. They're tied up on a beam, flashbang, something dazes the hero, and then they're gone, and that's it. Um, but yeah, so in my opinion, I think Adrian Chase is the one under the mask. I'll be interested to see if it's true or not. Hopefully, it's not going to wait 3 or 4 episodes till we see Vigilante again. I would love for this storyline to kind of pick up where it leaves off next episode. You know, I want them to continue with this. I don't want them to just say like, oh yeah, that Vigilante's guy is gone. We're just going to leave it be. Especially because he nearly killed Curtis. You know, that should be something they're looking into, but anyway, we'll see where that's going. Ultimately, that is how it ends, though. Vigilante gets away. Oliver delivers the leader of the bank robbers to the police. The same policeman that I kind of feel bad for the guy, because it feels like he's got to be scared to walk outside the precinct, because every time he walks out, there are bodies there waiting for him, sometimes living, sometimes dead. So, I don't know, it was just kind of funny to see the same cop. Some of the other storylines, though, little side stories going on. I like the fact that none of them really took away focus from the main plot line in this one. First one is, of course, the big shock at the end of last episode, seeing Quentin wake up, slash on his arm just like Prometheus got, and then he's got one of the throwing stars that Prometheus has, so it's kind of like, what could it be? Sure enough, he tells Thea in this episode he's been having blackouts, and when he woke up from this one, cut on his arm, throwing star. It's almost like he was playing with the idea that what if he is the throwing star killer? But, I mean, come on. You get so drunk that you black out and you turn into a super ninja? No. Clearly somebody is trying to toy with him and target him, make him think what if, you know, just kind of mess with his mind a little bit, possibly make Oliver think what if. And so, you know, like he tells Thea at the end of this episode, is it possible Prometheus knows I'm the Green Arrow? Which we know he does because Tobias Church told him. But once again, I still feel like it might be Tommy. Just because the fact that Laurel's dead, the fact that he went after her father and made it look like maybe he was Prometheus, I just feel like he's the only one that really fits this role. And why did he pop up? Well, he popped up really after the Laurel statue had been built and shown to everybody. So I don't know. I just feel like it's got to be Tommy. I feel like there would be a good storyline to see Oliver have to deal with, seeing Tommy come back from the dead, dealing with the fact that he's now a serial killer, probably because he got resurrected by the Lazarus Pit by Malcolm, and the fact that he's gunning for Oliver because he let Laurel die. So I just feel like it would be a great storyline to have. I really hope they do it. And on top of that, one of the best things about the first season was seeing Tommy and Oliver interact. You know, they had really good chemistry. It was probably one of the saddest moments seeing him die at the end of first season. So I would love to see him come back on the show, especially as a villain. It would just add so much to it. The other storylines going on, most of them are... that was the other kind of big storyline just because it ties into the main plot. The rest of them really are side stories. You've got Oliver dealing with this journalist, and clearly they're hitting it off, and you kind of expected that they were going to. But I really think that it's turning into a relationship that I feel like they're building so that he now has somebody who can be killed off and make him hurt because of it. You know, like, you look at all the main characters, you don't expect the show to kill off any of them. You know, you don't expect them to kill off any of the team. You don't expect them to kill off Thea. You don't expect them to kill off Quentin. You don't really expect any of those main characters to die. So what's the best thing to do? Well, let's bring in another character that can connect to Oliver, so that way Prometheus has somebody to kill to make him hurt. And, you know, it's okay. I wouldn't say it's as well done as they could have done it, you know, because I do like the fact that they sort of brought her in as a foil at first, somebody who was almost an antagonist, and now slowly they've turned it around to where Oliver's winning her over, partially because the target guy from the human target from a couple episodes ago helped him out. But they've kind of built this into a friendship, and now maybe not slow enough, turning it into a romance. And if I didn't see this done so many times, I wouldn't I wouldn't think, oh yeah, this is what they're doing with her character. They're just going to kill her off. But it's kind of a cliche, and I kind of expect it because Prometheus is starting to target Oliver more and more. I expect this to be the next step, killing the girl that he's dating. So we'll see if that's the case. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe she'll just get shot, and then he'll have to take her to the hospital so she can be resuscitated and brought back to life. But either way, it'll be interesting to see where exactly they're going to go with it. Other side story is, of course, the flashback. We're seeing more about the Bratva. I feel like I haven't really talked about the flashbacks that much, and part of that is because they're half interesting. The story is kind of building off the story of the flashbacks last season, and honestly, I didn't really like the story of the flashbacks last season. The whole, oh, this is all so we can introduce how Oliver found the idol that gives Damien Dark his powers. That took a whole season to find that out. So now they've kind of connected it to the girl. She wanted him to kill a guy named Konstantin Kovar. He's found Kovar at the end of last episode. Well, other way around. Kovar found him. Kovar's beating him for information. Finds out he's Bratva. He's, fighting back in this episode, but ultimately gets stopped from his escape. Kovar, tries to fight Kovar. Kovar beats him down. Is about to kill him. The guy from a couple episodes ago that tried to kill him steps in and says don't kill him for some reason. I don't know quite what's going on. I don't know if the Bratva are actually turning against Oliver or if it's just this one guy. I think his name is Gregor. So I don't know. It's just kind of confusing. It doesn't really tie in with what's going on in the main story. The only time the flashbacks tied in this season so far is we saw a human target in the flashback in that one episode, the same episode he was in, and also we saw when Oliver was training the team at first, we saw them doing the same training he was doing back in the flashback. So the rest of it has just kind of been bland and another story where I don't fear for Oliver's sake because he's still alive. So I don't know. It doesn't fit very well with the rest of the story, but it's okay, I guess. It's not as bad as last season so far. Another side story, we see the team pretty much getting better. I don't want to say that they are up here yet where I want them to be, or here where I expect them to be, but they are here, just kind of under what I expect them to be. Ragman, still awesome. His powers are still freaking cool to watch. But the rest of the team has kind of been the downing factor, don't like Wild Dog, don't like Curtis, don't like Evelyn. They're really just annoying to deal with most of the time. In this one, Curtis, his jokes got toned down, and the couple jokes he did make, he actually made the joke and stopped talking this time, instead of makes the joke, keeps talking, and then just makes it really, really awkward, and makes you want to slap him for not shutting up. Renee, my goodness, just so much better in this episode. Not just because, we see him actually following all his instructions. No, the whole thing with Diggle. At first he's kind of complaining to Diggle because John's taking it really, not taking it easy on him at all. He's really taking it to him. And he's just like, dude, lighten up a little bit. And we find out that John apparently is upset because he can't go see his son on his second birthday. And so it's just kind of like, that sucks, I'm sorry, John. I hate that for him. And at the end of the episode, we see Renee kind of talking to him as John's beating the crap out of a punching bag. And all of a sudden, Renee just pulls out one of the little horns that you use at a party. I don't even know what they're called. And he blows it. I'm just like, no way, he didn't. And then John's son comes running in with, I'm going to forget her name now. Lila? Yes, Lila Michaels. I think. It's surprising how bad at names I am. Anyway, but his son and Lila end up come running in so that he can celebrate his second birthday with him. That's awesome. That is something we have not seen Renee do. It's a big step for his character because it's something unselfish. It's something that makes me actually say, I like Wild Dog this episode. Like he's a much better character in this one overall. And I feel like they just wrote him better this episode. He wasn't as whiny, he wasn't as complaining, he didn't go against Oliver's wishes like we normally see. He did what Oliver asked him to do, and then he helps out John when John needs it. Who is this character? I have not seen him throughout the entire season, and just all of a sudden he pops up and becomes this awesome character for one episode. It's really weird. Curtis, I already talked about him, but I forgot to talk about the fact that he also had a moment, whenever Vigilante has a gun to his head. It's a moment that you see him not be, I guess, scared in the face of death. And it just kind of felt like a bit better for him as far as the fighting crime goes. I still don't... His character is still not what I want to see on the team, but I feel like that moment kind of sums up the fact that he is getting stronger. He is learning. He's not scared of death right now, and even though the guy's got a gun to his head. And part of that could be he trusts Oliver is going to save him, but at the same time, when somebody's got a gun to your head, it's tough not to freak out about that, and especially Curtis, you'd expect him to. So the fact that he didn't, I feel like, is a step up for him. So Renee got better, Curtis got better. The one character that just... I don't know. It's hard for me to explain why I haven't liked Evelyn throughout this entire season, but this episode just made her worse. It started off, she's once again still bugging Oliver about the whole vigilante thing. Even though they kind of came to an understanding at the end of last episode, she's still making references to that, like calling him out. Who are we to judge whether he's a vigilante or a killer? We're already over this. This was last episode. We're done with that. Even Oliver says, a week ago, you guys were upset that the Hood turned out to be a killer, and now you're actually wanting this guy to be with us. And I'm just like, thank you. Like, somebody said it. It was last week. Let's move on. We've moved on past this. But she still has to say something. She has quite a few lines throughout most of the episode about it. And so, I'm just like, I'm not connecting to her. She's not really doing anything for me this episode. She's kind of frustrating me. And at the end of the episode, it pops to her on a rooftop. I'm just like, are you serious? Are they really going to do this? She turns around. There's Prometheus. And she's like, they don't even suspect a thing. I'm just like... If you guys don't know why I'm frustrated, it's because this is how this scene went in the writer's mind. Guys, we gave Renee something cool to do. We gave Ragman something cool to do. Gave Curtis something cool to do. Well, what can we do for Evelyn, guys? We need something for her. I can't think of anything. You know what? Let's just have her see the villain at the end of this episode, and now she's suddenly working with him for some reason. Let's just get out of here, guys, okay? We'll write it down. We'll just put that in the script. We won't explain it until maybe a couple episodes down the line how this all happened. But guys, let's just get out of here, okay? I'm tired. I want to leave. That's exactly how it happened. It's so lazy as far as the writing goes. It's so just simple. Like, oh, Evelyn hasn't had anything to do this episode. Let's have her work with the villain now. Out of nowhere. And it's not like, like I said, last episode, it seemed like she didn't really completely forgive Oliver for finding out about him being a killer. But it seemed like they were going to start working towards a solution. Start working towards building that trust again. So to see her all of a sudden, she's working with the villain now. It feels forced. It feels like it just came out of nowhere. It feels like it doesn't fit at all with what I've seen this entire season. I don't know. I don't know why they felt the need to do this. It just feels like you're trying to force more drama into the situation. And the only other thing that they can do with this, either she is working with the Vigilante, or not the Vigilante, she is working with Prometheus because she hates Oliver, because, oh, he's a killer, he lied to me, blah, blah, blah. In which case, she's just a whiny little bitch and she needs to be put down. Or this is all part of the plan where she sought him out to try to trap him later on. In which case, I've seen that done. That was the entire story of the end of the third season whenever Oliver was pretending to be under Ra's al Ghul's control. I mean, come on. You've got to have something new. Why couldn't it just be Prometheus is that badass to where he doesn't need any help? He doesn't need anybody on the team to be his inside man. Prometheus is just that badass. He's stopping the team. The team can't stop him because he's that good. But no, now we have to have Evelyn working for him because, oh guys, drama. Lots and lots of drama. Trust issues. I already hated the team this season. You didn't need to give me another reason to hate her. It was stupid, it was forced, it was out of nowhere. Hated that final scene. And on top of that, it's just pretty much like the end of last episode. They're ending this episode on a oh my gosh moment because they feel like, oh guys, we have to make sure people keep watching the show. We have to make sure they keep coming back to watch. We have to have these oh my gosh moments thrown in. Come on, put this in there. You don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. You can find some other way to end an episode. You can actually have an episode end on a not cliffhanger moment. You can have it end on a normal moment. I'm still going to watch the next episode to find out what happens. So, done ranting about it. That was my thoughts. I'm really tired. I'm stumbling over words tonight. This has been really, really bad as far as my speaking goes. Anyway, but those are my thoughts on this episode. I liked it overall. It was a much better episode than what I've been seeing so far this season. I feel like Renee and Curtis both had steps up in their character, especially Renee. I feel like he's a new character all of a sudden. Ragman's still awesome. Stuff with Felicity is kind of pushed to the side now to where it's not even a big deal, thank God. I'm so sick of seeing all the drama be about, oh, she's dating a new guy. But yeah, I mean, overall, it was a much better episode this season. Hopefully they can continue this. Hopefully it's not just a one episode, great, and then the next few episodes are going to suck again. We'll see where it's going, but overall, I'm looking forward to what they've got for the rest of the season. So let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. What you like and dislike about this episode. Let me know. We can talk about and discuss all that good stuff. Leave a like and subscribe for future Arrow reviews. I'll see you at the next one after I take a nap. Peace out.